My manipulative brother-in-law insulted my weight until I cried on a beach day out, so I told my mother-in-law and she stood up for me. My brother is what I like to call a gymsole, in that he is rude to everyone who doesn't enjoy hitting the gym rigorously and likes to make fun of people who don't follow a strict chicken rice and broccoli diet. Despite being a plus-sized girl, specifically 5'5" and 240 pounds, I like to stay active and consider myself a fit person, but the first time I met my brother-in-law he called me a beluga when he was talking to me one-on-one. I told my boyfriend at the time about it and he dismissed it, saying he was only joking. I later talked to my husband and found out that my brother-in-law talked to him in private the day I met him, and asked my boyfriend if he was actually serious in the fact that he picked this wildebeest as a girlfriend. My husband told him yes and said he is with me because he thinks I'm beautiful inside and out. Off the bat, I got a terrible first impression of my brother-in-law, and due to the bullying I received from him in regards to my weight, I wanted to stay clear from him, but this was hard to do due to the amount of family get-togethers my husband's family had. The second time I saw my brother-in-law he made a joke out loud about how I asked for seconds, and the third time he saw me he asked me how the hell I managed to squeeze into my jeans. I took my husband aside when he said this and asked him if he was seriously going to allow his brother to speak to me like that, and after rehoming a little my husband agreed to say something. The very next day I urged my husband to send his brother a text and he did so reluctantly, telling his brother if he could calm down with the fat jokes because I do not feel comfortable around him. My brother-in-law responded that if I wanted to stop being called a mammoth by him, I should lose some weight. After this, I demanded that my husband cut ties with his brother. He refused to do so, but did tell me I no longer had to come to any family events that my brother attended. And so that's what I did. I did not see my brother-in-law for 2.5 years, and during those 2 years my then-boyfriend proposed, we got married, had a honeymoon, and the only time I saw my brother-in-law was at the wedding, at which we steered clear from each other. Well, recently my husband came to me, telling me that as a family they are planning to have a beach day out soon and asked me if I wanted to join. I asked if his brother would be there and he said no. After hearing this, I agreed. The rest of my husband's family have always been extremely nice to me and have stood up for me when his brother made the comments, and so I felt comfortable around them. I remember being genuinely excited for the beach day. The thing is, while I did not show it on the surface, my brother-in-law's comments did affect me. I remember before the beach day out feeling very insecure in my body and so I wanted to wear a one-piece swimsuit, but my husband convinced me that I looked hot in a bikini and urged me to go in that. I ended up listening to him, but I did not eat for around 24 hours until it was beach day because I wanted to look as skinny as possible and not be bloated. Well, my husband and I arrived at the beach and we met up with his family, and there I saw him. My brother-in-law was present with everyone. I pulled my husband aside and told him that he said his brother wasn't coming, but he said he thought he wasn't. He just told me to relax and enjoy the day and he will talk to his brother if anything happens. I was on edge the whole time and whenever I was sunbathing, I tried to put myself in a position as stretched out as possible to give my brother-in-law as little ammunition as possible. Well, my brother-in-law decided to take it upon himself to hurt my feelings. He came over to me when I was sunbathing alone and sat down beside me. I noticed him but tried not to react, when in reality I was super anxious. He started off by saying long time no see, to which I just replied yeah. Then wasting no time, my brother-in-law said you really haven't changed. Just as big as ever huh? I stayed silent and tried to relocate away from him, but he literally followed behind me, making comments like how does your butt sag so low and then told me I was built like a stack of bagels. I practically ran away from him and cried silently to myself. My husband came over after a while and I told him what happened, but his response was just to stay quiet and that he would handle this when home as he does not want an argument in front of everyone. This really broke me, and so I went to my mother-in-law. For context, my mother-in-law has always been super sweet to me and always told me I should not be ashamed of my size at all, especially because she has seen me at the gym and made a comment about how impressed she was with how heavy I can lift. When she heard what my brother-in-law said, she went right over to him while he was with the majority of the family and tore him a new one. I couldn't make out what was said, but I saw him looking down at the ground, and she literally dragged him by the ear to me and made him apologize. When my husband and I went home, we had a long and serious talk about setting boundaries with his brother, and he promised to talk to him tomorrow. I'm really hoping he does.